lot of fun. So we're going to focus on turns today. I think we'll give everybody a couple minutes.
I saw Jamie.
Okay. He's heading down? Yep. Okay, good deal. The instructor this, ask away. That's why we're here. You know, we're here to have a lot of fun, get you guys better at trials. You know, the better you get, the more fun it is. For the brand new people, some of this stuff you'll get frustrated. Every level of rider, you know, every level of rider. You get a little flustered at times. Turns are sort of the foundation of trials, really, when you kind of break it all down. If you're really solid at turns, so if you're new to this, practice your turns. Even if you get bored doing it, practice them. You can't do it enough. They also make a really good warm-up, right? So the message is, talk to different instructors. Don't be afraid to take an instructor aside and say, hey, would you coach me for a couple minutes and take a look at my form and give me some feedback. That's why we're here and we're happy to do it. Good deal. Anybody, what is the official start time? 9. Jamie? Jamie, I'm Danny. How are you? Nice to meet you.
What's your name?
My name's Danny.
Danny.
Tonight, guys, at 6, if you have any interest, kind of done with your day, you want to get something to eat, crack a beer, do whatever you want. I'm doing I guess we'll call it a lecture. Teach you guys how to use strength and conditioning to get better at trials riding, or any form of athletics that you do. But obviously, we're here to get better at trials. So that's where we were at the pavilion, where everybody signed up. So if you want to come up at 6, come up. Question and answers about all things fitness, strength training. And so if that's of interest to you, please come on up and see us. It's a lot of fun.
How old were you when you started riding trials?
I've only been riding trials 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah. And I had a bunch of surgeries a couple years ago, so I missed a year. So in real years, probably 4. And I was fortunate to have a friend that took me under his wing. That's another thing. If you can get to ride, find a buddy that's better than you, take it all day long. I ride with a fellow by the name of Dave Webster, who was a national champion, I think, back in 1982. And he's 61 years old. He's a heck of a rider, and he loves to teach. And I was fortunate to start off with him, so I kind of learned a little faster maybe than I deserved. And you can learn this stuff quick. Focus on your basics. I know you got a lot of riders, they want to hop, and I love that stuff. I can hop all day long. It's a blast. Try to get your turns down first. Basically, the rider that turns the best, I think, wins the event. But Mike, would you say it's a fair statement in most cases?
And a lot of that other stuff, like the hopping and stuff, you're not going to need that until you get up into advanced or expert classes.
Yeah.
And, when you first start out in the intermediate sportsman classes, it's the turns are where you're going to save your points.
Yep.
And warming up, doing figure eights, just as tight as you can, full lock, just a figure 8. That'll warm you up better than anything else.
Yeah, I completely agree.
And
go ahead.
And if you're like me, you don't have a area of practice. I've got a fairly small backyard, but I'll just go out in the backyard for 20 minutes, half hour, do full lock turns or figure 8s, and neighbors can't complain. It's quieter than my lawnmower. So.
And you use it more.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, Mike, I think it's time for you to cut that grass, man.
It looks better than my neighbor's, so I'm
Does it? All right.
Good.
Yeah.
It's not as exciting as hitting a rock pile and going up a wall.
No, but
It's important.
time on the bike, right?
Yeah.
You guys all know Maddie Hoover. You know that name? Maddie Hoover is the #1 women's pro, and she's a friend of mine, and I'm friends with her dad, and he's a heck of a rider too. It's what they talk about all the time. Time on the bike. Just get on the pegs when you can. If it's raining out, you don't feel like riding because it's too sloppy, take the bike, get in your garage, balance on it, Get comfortable balancing for 5, 8, 10 straight minutes. You'll be able to do it. Let a little air out of the tires if you need a head start, but just do that stuff, you know. I learned how to hop the bike in my garage, and I just, you know, because I just couldn't get out enough to practice. So I just practiced 15, 20 minutes every day in the garage. Finally, after a long time, it finally came together. So just take your opportunities. Yeah.
Do you have any issues with carbon monoxide when you're in your garage?
So I'm on a dead bike. yeah. Yeah. That's something I do.
Crack the door.
Good deal.
And you can practice restarting when you're doing that too. Just reaching down and pulling the kickstart.
Yeah,
if you're stall in a section.
That's a good skill to have.
And you're stopped. As long as you keep your feet up, but you're dead. Stop. Your engine's dead. If you put your foot down, it's 5. If you're still moving, rolling down a hill, and the engine's dead, and you put your foot down, it's just a point. But if you're stopped dead, and you can balance and reach down and restart your bike, I think I've done it. I've been riding trials, what, 30 years? I think I've done it twice. That whole, but when you do it, then everybody's like, "Woo!"
Yeah, that's a shit. Yeah, you get a lot of points for that.
You'll see the pros do it like nothing. But
good deal. What do you say we get started?
Yeah.
So, if you don't mind, we'll do a quick introduction. Maybe Mike, you start.
Mike Del Meso. Been riding trials in, I guess, in my second career now, about 6 years. I rode trials as a kid in the late 70s, early 80s, and then college and job and life happened, and picked it back up about 5, 6 years ago. So ride in mostly STRA in the advanced sportsman class. So, and my big nemesis in the advanced sportsman class right here.
my name is Jamie Gorley. I live in Atlanta. I've been riding trials since '87. Started with the STRA in '89. I ride the same class, advanced sportsman. So I used to ride advanced, but knee surgery, knee replacement, and now tendons. So I've had a few injuries through the years, but trials related, I've had one bad injury in 30 years, so not bad. So it's much safer than a lot of things. You know, it's rare for Mike and I to even have anybody even get hurt at all at a trial, let alone, you know, broken anything. So it's a great sport, safe sport. So I highly recommend it. So, and I ride all STRA stuff too. So this is our home base. So.
Good stuff, guys. So my name's Danny. I ride expert class. I've been riding trials like we talked about for about 5 years, give or take. My background is in coaching. I'm a strength and conditioning coach. That's what I do for a living. I like to teach, and glad to be here with you guys. So again, squeeze the juice out of this weekend. I'm telling you, get all you can out of it, right? You paid your money. You told your wife you were coming. You're here. Get a lot out of it. Ask questions. Don't worry if you screw up, because you're going to screw up. I'm going to screw up.
You're not trying hard enough.
Right. Don't worry about getting it perfect. Try not to be super timid on the bike. Relax. Have fun with this. No one cares if you. Here's the deal. No one cares if you're good, and no one cares if you stink. No one cares, right? The trials is a very supportive community. Just tends to be. It's different. It's not cutthroat in my experience. Everybody's here to help you. Okay. So, Mike, Jamie, I'll get started maybe on just a brief introduction to turns, and you can add or delete for me. So, guys, what we're looking for in turns, probably the thing I like to emphasize the most, and if you can get this habit nailed down early, is to get your knees out, right? I know in some forms of motorcycling, they teach you to kind of hug the tank and everything, right? I want you to do the exact opposite. I want you to shove your knees out. Shove them out. Even if you exaggerate it and you feel like they're out too much, chances are they're perfect. So put them out more than you want to. A couple reasons for this. Number one, you're not going to get as tired. And number two, probably maybe more importantly, you're going to give the bike room, right? We don't really turn in trials with the handlebars. We really don't. We lay the bike down, right? I'm going to be watching you guys, so kind of challenge yourself. Can I get my knees out and lay the bike down, right? Think about the bike being flat, right? I was at Ryan Young class a few years ago, and I loved this tip he gave me. So he said, put the bike down to the point where you can see the end of your handlebar. Not that you should be looking at it, but in your peripheral, you can see the end of your throttle tube, right? The outside of it, and the other side, right? So get it down there. Shove your knees out. It's also important, where are you looking, right? This is a habit, even high-level riders screw this up. We all are guilty of this. We're looking down, right? We're looking down. You want to look up. Discipline yourself to look up. Even if you feel like, wow, I really want to look down, try to keep your vision up, keep your chin up, right? If you're looking at your front tire every single time, if you're doing that and you hit a root or there's something you miss, you're going to dab, right? If you watch the best riders, you just like next time you're watching the real upper level guys, watch where they're looking. They're never looking down, never. So it's a hard habit to break. It's even hard for me. You may catch me even doing it. If you catch me doing it, remind me. Look. You want to look up. You can see the whole thing. Okay, whether you're turning or going over an obstacle, you want to look up. Mike?
Yeah, that's something that before I got back into my second trials career, I never road raced, but I did a lot of track days. And one of the things they teach you there is look where you want to go, not where you're going. So you look through the turns. Same exact thing with this. Look where you want to go. Don't, like I said, don't be looking right down at your front wheel.
Yeah.
Kurt Comer used to have a sticker on his gas tank. So if you look down, it said, look ahead.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Look where you're going, and if you look down,
Yeah.
it's like everything.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
center of gravity just drops. But if you're looking ahead, you're kind of shooting.
Yep. So keep it up. Keep your knees out, right? Foot position on the pegs. You don't want to be you don't want your boot hugging the engine. Put it out there a little bit, right? You want room. In other words, you don't want to be crowded here, right? It's very hard to put the bike down when you're crowded. You're going to hit here. So open that thing. We're going to demo a few, and you'll see when I do it, and especially when I teach, I really try to exaggerate those knees out. You cannot go wrong with shoving your knees out. Okay, so knees out, looking up. Okay, good throttle and clutch control. Right, we're gonna go slow through these cones. I might open those cones up a hair just for us to start, and then we'll kind of shrink them as we go, and we'll start from there. Mike, Damon, do you guys want to maybe do a little demo, or I'm happy to do it. Yeah, good deal. Maybe.
If they have to pull lock, they might be able to find out. So I just want to see how
Yeah. If Mike screws up, we're opening up the cones a little bit.
What about your shoulders?
Yeah, good point. Good point. Very good point. Mike, before you start, so thank you. What happens if we drop a shoulder?
You're going to go in that direction.
Every time, right? So try your best, right? Some people use the example of like a bow and arrow, right? I mean, I've never really done archery, but you can imagine, right? Bow and arrow, that's sort of how you should look on your bike, right? Okay, so that the shoulders stay up, the shoulders stay level. Try to get in the habit of not dropping in, because again, I'm guilty of it sometimes too, and you catch yourself dabbing and you say, wow, if I kept my shoulders stay with the horizon, right? Shoulders stay with the horizon, and the bike goes underneath. It's almost like your shoulders are frozen, and your bike let the bike do whatever it wants underneath you. Your shoulders stay level. So thank you for bringing, that's an excellent point that we overlooked, so thank you for bringing that up. Any other, great question. Any other questions?
Foot peg pressure?
Yeah, so we can, in a sense, we like to turn more with our feet versus our handlebars, right? I know it sounds crazy, like, well, of course, the handlebars are to turn, but when we're doing these types of turns, you're going to apply some peg pressure on the inside peg. Okay, it doesn't have to be excessive. Okay, it shouldn't be crazy, but you're gonna unweight the outside peg a little bit and weight the inside peg. Okay, this is something where having your knees out will come in handy, right? Because if you imagine, you'll see it in a minute. You're putting the bike down, right? This leg's got to be out so that the bike is balanced. If this knee drifts in and I'm applying peg pressure here, I'm gonna get a point. Okay, so peg pressure. Where are you looking? Knees out. Okay. So if you hear me yell at you, not yell at you, but cue you, eyes, you'll know. Look up. If I say knees, shove your knees out. Right. So those are your cues. If I say pegs, or if I say shoulders, right, level your shoulders. Imagine going into the turn. You say to yourself, all right, my shoulders are going to stay level with the horizon. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to stay level, and the bike goes underneath, right? That's the bow and arrow, Good stuff. Okay. All right. Good questions, and keep the questions coming. Mike, you want to demo this?
Okay.
You guys, if you want to move up a little bit, that's fine. Yeah, maybe keep the bikes here for the moment.
I think it's basic.
Yeah. All right. So let's kick him out. Okay. So you see what he's doing with his knees, right? He's got nice, all that space. And he's looking ahead, he's not looking down. That's a nice ride. Okay. He's got good throttle control. Okay. But you can really notice he's trying to get that bike away from him and down. Okay. He's looking ahead. Now he's going to look at his next corner. So he's got the knees out. That's a nice ride right there. Well done. Yeah, very good. Very good.
It's a couple other things. Generally, try to keep one finger on the brake and one on the clutch. You want to be kind of on the outboard of the pegs. I try to ride on the balls of my feet, except some places you get in, you're going to want to cover the rear brake, but generally try to stay on the balls of your feet.
That was actually my next question, is foot position.
Yeah. All right. Let's set up a couple lines here, I guess.
Drop my shoulder.